Okay, what is up guys? My name is Sean Brown and we're in the second episode of the series on how to start and grow a skate channel. The first episode was me teaching you just how to start the basics with the logo, banner, and your little bio for your channel, just like the basic layout. And I chose 3 winners to shout out, just ones that like really stood out to me. So the first one is Chief Z Scott. His, like, I don't know, it just really popped out to me for some reason. Like, it's very bright and colorful. You could see his name. He even had his social media on there, and he had a call to action, like subscribe on there. Another one was Mike Barrios. His was really simple. That's what I liked about it too. I really like simplicity in a banner. Oh, also Chief Z Scott also just had a bit emoji for his profile picture, which is completely fine. But Mike Barrios has a selfie, and then he also has his name for the banner. 3 symbols, so like I guess the first one's comedy, the second one is a camera, so you know he films stuff, and then the third one is skateboarding, so you know he does skateboarding on there. So that's very simple and it gets the message across. My favorite out of the ones that I saw was Ashton Kelly, because the text was really big and bold, and like you could just know what the channel's about. Like you see, he has his name, he has daily videos, and if you watch his videos, you understand what the Mountain Dew and Alien is for. But yeah, I just want to give a quick shout out to all those people, so make sure you check out the channels. All the channels in the description. But now I'm going to teach you how to get your first video, some basic video editing tips, and like a camera setup. So let's get right into it. Okay, so the first thing with this video, you're going to need a camera setup. You don't need a camera itself because your phone has one. You can have like your phone or a mobile device. So that's the first thing you should try to use. If you didn't know, your iPhone, if you have an iPhone 6 or above, it can film 1080-60 on the rear camera. So all you have to do is go to the settings, go to like photos and camera, and then you should be able to change it to 1080p 60 frames per second. I really recommend that, especially if you're doing skateboarding. If you're ready to make the big jump to get an actual camera, some suggestions I wrote down: if you want like a point and shoot just for like simple vlogs, and you know you're just carrying around not really getting super artsy with it, like you still can but you don't want to, get the Canon G7X, the Sony RX100, or the Panasonic LX10. All those links will be in the description, but those are just really good vlog cameras, and they all get up to 1080, 60 frames per second, and they're super small and really portable. So I would really recommend that if you're ready to make the jump with the price. To get a good camera, you're probably gonna have to spend $400 or above. So don't get a cheap $200 camera that's not gonna be that good in quality. It's gonna be worth it if you save a little bit more and get it. So just be aware of that. But if you guys wanna get like a DSLR or like mirrorless type of camera where you can change the lenses and get a microphone on top and all this other good features, so I would recommend either getting my camera, which is the Panasonic G7. This films up to 4K, okay? I've never used 4K, I just use 1080-60, but the quality is really clear on here. You can also get a Canon T3i or up. Those film 60 frames per second, but not at 1080. So, like, the only ones that film 1080 at 60 frames, a Canon 80D or a Canon M5. Those are like the cheapest options where you can get 1080-60. I also recommend the Nikon D5300 and above, so you can go like from Nikon D5300 to a D5500. Those are pretty decent prices for DSLRs. And there's also a Canon M3 video creator bundle on Amazon. I'll have the link to the description. You'll get the Rode mic and that camera and the lens for I think like $500, like $500, $600 for all that. That's a really good setup, okay? And also for mics, you might want a Taxar or a Rode. That's like the only brands I really know about that are pretty good for mics. But yeah, those are like just basic camera setups. Just make sure you use your phone if you have one, okay, at first. If you're ready to make the jump, then use the other ones that I suggested. For your first video, it doesn't have to be your first video, this is gonna help you probably get more views on your channel. So you want videos that bring in multiple people to your channel. If you just make a vlog, I'm gonna be honest, if your channel's not big, it's not gonna get that many views. So you need to make videos that bring in a lot of viewers. Some examples can be like a board setup. That is like probably the most popular type of video that gets views. So do a board setup if you can. You can even just go over your board setup. So either do that, you can do an unboxing with something, you can do a skate test with shoes, or you can review something like a shoe or some other type of product. So I would recommend doing one of those videos as your first video, or just upload that if you haven't already, okay? So make sure you do one of those. But I would recommend a board setup. One of the camera essentials, whether you have a phone or an actual camera, you are gonna need a tripod if you wanna have decent videos. So I have a phone tripod. This is like, there's a link in the description to say iPhone bendy tripod with my camera setup. But this really isn't that cheap. You can find these on Amazon for not that much. And this is actually really good because these bend, and it has a ball head, so you can like move this around as much as you want to get like a creative shot. But if you have an actual camera, then you kind of want a sturdy tripod like I have here. You can see there. But yeah, you might want a actual tripod like that if you have a real camera. But yes, that's just to make sure all your shots are steady. If you don't if you can't afford like any of the tripods, don't worry, you can like make makeshift tripods by like setting up a bunch of boxes and leaning up your phone against it. But I'm telling you, if you get like one of those tripods, it is going to make your life a whole lot easier. So this is probably like a pretty good headspace layout. Like you don't there's a little space above my head, you want that, but you don't want too much space. Like you want your head to be near the top of the frame, and you just don't want it to be too low or too high. So just try to get it like this if you can. So just make sure you look at the playback before you actually film your video. Do not have it like this, because look how much headspace is above me. And don't have it like this where your head is cut off, because then people can't really see your face. Also, you want to make sure when you're filming, you want to make sure you have like a wide open space behind you. Like, let's say like you see I can walk all the way back here. Like, I can keep walking back here, see? You want to make sure you have space behind you, because this is what gives you depth. You'll see the background is slightly blurred out. It's not like, you know, crazy or anything, but you want to make sure you have that, because you want the focus to be on you, because your camera will actually detect that. So make sure you have space behind you. It should look like this. You do not want it to be like this. Don't be right up against the wall, because then like you can't see anything blurry in the background, and then that makes you in focus. Do not do it like this. So I would probably just recommend filming outside if you can, but if you're in your room, just make sure you have like space behind you. Don't film up right against a wall. And here's a little better example of like the background being blurred out, because my face is right here close to the camera, and this is like wide open space behind me. See, like it's wide open space behind me, and I am right here. So some quick little filming tips I have. Make sure when you're talking to your camera, actually look into the lens. Do not look at the playback, because you want to make it look like you're talking to your audience. Also, redo if you have any mistakes. Like let's say you mess up mid-sentence or something. You don't have to start the video all over. You can start out from where you messed up and then just edit it out. So let's say I say a sentence like, the dog ran past the cat and the dog ran to catch the squirrel, okay? So let's say I messed up like this. The dog ran past the cat and the, oh shoot. See, but you can just cut out like this. The dog ran past the cat and the dog went to catch the squirrel. Also, film from multiple angles if possible. Like you can see in the beginning of this video, I was like inside the house. I was walking around here, I was sitting here, I was walking in the grass. Like just make sure you film from multiple angles, because that makes the video more interesting. Like, cause if I was just filming from one boring angle the whole video, that'd be super boring. But yeah, whatever you're doing, like just have fun with it. Be real to the camera. Don't have like fake energy, and you know, don't be dead, but like just have some energy when talking. Like have some enthusiasm. Don't be like too boring. Like if you watch my old videos, you can see me like, oh, what's up guys, about to film a board setup video. Yeah, like don't be like that, but like just have a little bit more energy, you know. Like I don't know, I guess the way I'm talking now, I don't want to, like I'm not too overhyped and I'm not like dead or anything. When filming your video, whether it's like a board setup, review, skate shoe test, whatever, just make sure you actually film skating clips with it too, because I've seen too many people film board setups and get no clips with their board after they set it up. So make sure you actually get skate clips. That's what makes it more entertaining than the other videos. Also, if you're filming a board setup video, make sure you don't like just put in the whole video of you setting up your board. Just use the main parts. You can skip between bolts, like if you set it up for skipping between other stuff. Like you can just time lapse it or whatever. Don't just put the whole clip. Either make it shorter by cutting it into pieces, or do like a time lapse. Okay guys, so now for video editing. If you're editing from your phone, I have some apps for you guys that are free and that I think are really good. First, if you have an iPhone, I would recommend using iMovie first. If you don't have that for some reason, then get Splice, which is by GoPro. Those are, I think, the two best iPhone editing apps that are free. For Android, I would recommend, I heard Power Director is good, but it has a giant watermark. But one of my followers, Kobe, says it's $1 to get rid of it, or like something like that, and he says it's actually really good. And he said you can work in layers in it. So if you can get that, then get that. But a free alternative that I found that's on both iPhone and Android is called Adobe Premiere Clip. So what I use to edit on my computer is actually Adobe Premiere Pro, which is the paid version, but they have a free version on your phone which is called Adobe Premiere Clip, and I've heard it's actually really good. You can find some tutorials on YouTube, because I'm not going to specifically go on how to use it, but I heard it's really good, and I'm seeing some videos about it, so I'd definitely check that out if I were you. Now, if you're on the computer, which I highly recommend, if you can get on a computer, I would really recommend this because it works in layers and that's gonna give you like endless opportunities, okay guys? So, some free alternatives I have, besides Adobe Premiere Pro, which is what I use, I would definitely recommend that. You can get a free trial, I have a link in the description. But I have some free alternatives that you can use. One is Hitfilm 4 Express. I think that's the one that looks the most similar to mine. And I'll have tutorials for all the ones that I'm linking in the description. There's also one called DaVinci Resolve and another one called Shotcut Video Editor. All those links will be in the description, and those are nice because they all work in layers and they are just free. Like, they don't charge you guys anything. There's no watermarks, I believe, and it's just really good from what I've seen. So definitely check that out. There will be tutorials on how to use them in the description as well. Okay guys, so I have an example of when I messed up filming like mid-sentence, and this is how you would edit out. So I'm gonna play it real quick. Get a lot of background, so doing all that stuff in one day was kind of like a big thing for me. Dang, there's the mess up. So what you would do is go to the end of the clip where you you want to end it, like before you messed up. So let's say I'm gonna watch it over. All that stuff in one day was kind of like a big thing for me. So I'm gonna pause right there, okay? And I don't know which software you're using, but you're gonna find the split tool. So on this, you would just press Control K to split it. You may even press like edit up here, and it might be like split or something. But you just split it at that point. So now you notice it's in 2 clips, okay? So you're just gonna go over to the other one and go to where you fix where you're messing up. So right there. And then you can either cut it again and delete, or you can drag the end to where it is and then match them up together. So it should be like this instead. I get a lot of background, so doing all that stuff in one day was kind of like a big thing for me. Sorry, everything wasn't. See how it just flows together instead of me having that long pause of thinking what to say and then putting that in there. So that's just a quick tutorial of like how to go over your mess ups, and make sure you do the same thing. If you're having a board setup, just make sure you get only the main parts of you setting up the board instead of just putting the whole board setup video. So now when it comes to adding music to your video, you're just gonna want to go to a site that's non-copyright. So you can either go to NCS, which is No Copyright Sounds on YouTube. You can see they have a whole bunch of selections. I used this back in the day just to get dubstep. And now sometimes I use Bass Rebels, which is, they have more of like vlog styled stuff on there. You can see they have a whole bunch of selections. And when you have that ready, you just find a YouTube to MP3 website. And I use the one that looks like a shark. I think the website's y2mp3.cc. And also another choice, you can go to SoundCloud. And some SoundCloud artists that have non-copyright songs are Julian Vila. I don't know if I pronounced it wrong. Sorry if I did. But he has some really good songs on there. You can also find Joachim Karud. He also has really good songs as well. My favorite, Lakey Inspired. You can use his music. And another one, which is Diala, and you can use her music too. These are all really good selections. These are the ones I mainly use. I use some other ones too that I find, but you gotta make sure they're not copyright. And when you have those, they should either have a download link, but if they don't, then there's a SoundCloud to MP3 website. It should be soundcloudmp3.org. But yes, that's how I get my music and put it into the video. But yeah guys, otherwise than that, for editing tips, one tip that I have is watch your favorite YouTubers and watch their videos from an editing perspective. Like, just think in your mind, how did he make that happen? Like the direct cuts, the fades, like whatever he or she did in that video. Think about it from an editor's perspective. And also, make sure when you're ready to upload your video, you export it. Do not upload a project file, which is like the first thing that it will save as so you can keep editing. That is not going to work when you upload it to YouTube. So you got to make sure you have it as MP4 or MOV or just a final video file. And really just get creative with it. Don't try to be, just copy someone else. It's like you can add your own editing style too. Like, make it creative and just have fun with it. And it's just be really fun making videos. You shouldn't have to be annoyed with making videos, even though editing sometimes takes forever. But yeah, just make sure you have fun with it. Also, another tip I have is don't have your music too loud than your voice, because that's gonna suck and nobody's gonna be able to hear you. But yeah, that's all I have for video editing tips. But yeah guys, that's gonna wrap it up for the video. I hope it helped you guys. I hope you guys are liking this series. Make sure if you use the tips in this video, then just say I use the tips in this video, check it out, and you can leave a link. And make sure you guys actually check out each other's channels, okay? Because if you guys do that, you guys are gonna grow. Just like build a community and actually be social with one another. Because seriously, like there's just so many people that are just in it for their like own good. If you don't actually give back to people, then you're not gonna get back anything. So make sure you guys check out each other's channels. I will be giving shout outs to people who use my tips the best for their first video, or you know, whatever you list it as. But hope it helped guys. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe if it did. 10K giveaway coming soon this week, so stay on the lookout for that. Peace out guys, see you later.